Right, I don't know if anyone's in here, lads, but what's going on if you are? Welcome, welcome. And if no one's in here, then I'm just speaking to myself, which is also fine, if it has to be. If it has to be. Yeah, what's going on, lads? What is going on? I just need to throw a little tweet out. To say that I'm live. Let's see. Let's have a little look. Right, I can get off Discord. We don't need Discord. Right, lads, what's going on? I can see a couple of you in here. What's going on? Sam, Mottadace, lads, Dejan. Great name, by the way. Ian, what's going on, mate? Nathan as well. What's going on? What's going on, lads? Yeah. Just got home from the gym, and yeah, me and Quinny were going to stream later today, but our schedules are a little bit, they're just not aligning today, basically, unfortunately. So I think he's going to stream a bit later, and I'm going to be out later tonight. So yeah, I might be back in time, hopefully, if he wants to have me on tonight, and we'll do something there. But right now, yeah, this was the only time that I could fit in to do a quick little stream in regards to the prize pool update that Sorare have just announced. Jay Fraz, what's going on, mate? Tom, lads, what's going on? What is going on, lads? Just making sure we're all live and we're all good. Looks like we're fine. Looks like we're good. Yeah, so I just thought I'd, go live now for however long it takes us to go through this post. They're not doing the medium posting anymore. It feels like it's like native on Sorare, feels like, these announcements, whatever. David, what's going on, mate? And Coplice, what's going on, mate? Yeah, so we'll go through this, try and make sense of it. Obviously, we're going to have questions. There's going to be unanswered questions as well, I assume, that Sorare are going to come out with over the next however long, couple of days or whatever. But I'm just surprised we've got it this soon, to be honest. This feels, 7th of March? This is not mid-March, is it? Surely to God. But we'll take it. I'd prefer earlier, as long as it's fine, than never. But yeah. Come on then, we'll have a little read. 15-minute read. I did have a little look at it whilst I was in the gym. And yeah, all like the graphics and stuff were a little bit wonky. And I couldn't really... Yeah, it didn't really work very well for me. So yeah, obviously that's why I'm streaming now. Just checking up on my tweet to make sure it went out. Yeah, it did go out. Okay. It did go out. Come on then. So, I'm not going to read it word for word in every paragraph or whatever, but we'll try and go through it as thorough as possible. Not miss out on too much. Okay, 1 month ago they unveiled the most ambitious game update ever, blah, blah, blah. In August, our gameplay will enter a new era, as we know. We also shared our plan for the transition phase, which will begin at the end of March until August to honor our community, give them the needed time to adapt. Yeah, we know all about that. Today, we're excited to present more details about this transition phase, including new prize pools. If I'm speaking too fast, lads, sorry, that is a habit of mine. I will try and slow myself down. A closer look at our special weeklies. Oh, they love these special weeklies, don't they? They're buzzing off them. As a reminder, here's what Sorare Pro gameplay will offer in August 2024, some of which you will begin to enjoy starting March 29th. Sorry, yeah. Okay, more exciting rewards. Your success deserves to be celebrated. Master the game, blah, 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 blah. Cash prizes and all-star players. And even if you don't secure the top spot in a game week, the introduction of reward boxes ensures that a significant percentage of managers will win exciting prizes. Simplified competition structure, a new format that helps new managers get started and more accurately reflects real-world footy and ensures star players' performances are more valued. Crystal clear progression. That wasn't crystal clear pronunciation. From me. A gameplay where managers know their next move, where they can climb divisions and be rewarded as they progress. Okay. our prize pool reveal. Here we go, lads. Drum roll. Just catching up on the chat. Gus, what's going on, mate? David Taylor, yeah. What's going on? Alex Weaselmont. It's just a Welsh thing. Come on, Weaselmont. Don't do me like that. 5 minutes into the stream, mate. You're killing me. David says, hardest thing right now is calculating how good the reward percentage actually is. As they don't seem to have gone off number of users per week. So you could have 1,000 users playing for 6 prizes. Right. Yeah, I think that from what I've seen in a Discord that I'm in, it looks like they're using like the numbers that we'll get into. Apparently that's like if there's over 75% of games being played or something in that specific division, for example, Challenger, something like that. But we'll have to get into it. Johnny, what's going on, mate? Come on then. So, prize pool. Let's start with the much anticipated reveal of the competition prize pools, blah, blah, blah. As a reminder, here's what the competition structure will look like between the end of March and August. So we know we've got, it's a bit small here, isn't it? Let's make this a little bit bigger for you. Should we have it that big? Yeah, we'll do it that big. Let me make myself a little bit smaller. You lot don't need to see me. Really, do you? We'll do that. Okay. Paul, what's going on, mate? Let's squeeze a little bit of Harry in before I head to the gym. Love that, Paul. I saw you had your Muay Thai this morning. And your scran, I saw that on Twitter. I'm always watching, mate. As Scott speaks fast too. If the English or non-UK guys can't understand you, it's a them problem. Yeah, fair play. For sure. Yeah, so this is what we're looking like between March and August. So we've got Premier League in-season classic, Champion season classic, Challengers the same, Contenders the same, and then we've got under 23, All-Star, 240, 270, and 220. They won't have in-season comps. So, we have put a lot of care into designing the best possible prize pools, blah, 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 blah. This is thanks to our new in-season and classic mode comps that introduces a healthy and sustainable card ownership and reward cycle that is simple and easy to understand. Simple and Sorare don't go hand in hand, lads. That's one thing we need to, make it clear from the get-go. Okay, play with classic season cards to win in-season cards and cash for podium finishes in first divisions, and then you play with primarily in-season cards to win cash. So it's the whole use old cards to win new cards to win cash is the sort of trifecta thingy. Yeah. So this is, there's the loop, as I basically just explained. So we know all that jazz. So below is the comprehensive list of the new prize pools across scarcities and divisions, which will be live starting game week 463. We kind of knew that was going to be the starting date. Managers can now plan and strategize, blah, 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 blah. Please note that these prize pools of our legacy competitions under 23, All-Star and Cat modes will remain unchanged during the transition phase, except for one modification in All-Star, cash rewards. Outside of the podiums will be reallocated in alignment with our new cash prize distribution. So yeah, All-Stars getting nerfed. You can only win cash on the podium going forward from March 29th onwards, game week 463. Makes sense. Boyan says, "How do you know how the divisions will be determined?" Sorry, Holland, what's going on, mate? Bo, I think it's based off the strength of your cards in relation to that. Excuse me, just lost my voice. It goes off the strength of your cards in relation to that division. So say if you're playing Contenders and you have 5 MLS star rare cards, goalie, defender, midfielder, forward, then you're going to be in Division 1, basically, because you have 5 stars. It's basically how it sounds like it's going to work, from what I gather. As always, we'll monitor data, blah, 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 blah. Right, so here are the prize pools for the in-season and classic season rare and contender competition. So in-season, so this is in-season champions. You've got top 5 leagues. This is what we're cooking. Let's have a look. So, I don't know how well you can see it on screen, lads. Does it need to be... Does that work a bit better? I think it does, doesn't it? So yeah, Div 1, $2,200 for first. And this is champion, right? So, you're going to have some big cards in here. 2,002 for Division 1. And that pays down all the way to 45th, which is $90. Interesting. So 11th to 45th gets $90. Okay. Div 2, the winner gets $800. And that pays down to 90 again. And then you've got Div 3, $500 to win it. Pays down to 90 again, which is 55. Okay. And then Div 4, $250 to win it, and then $55 between 21st and 40th. So, I mean, you're going to expect Div 2 to be the most, and maybe Div 3. The Div 2 and Div 3 are going to have the most users in, right? That's how I'm thinking it's going to work. You know, they reward the most places there, so that just kind of makes sense. So if we say there's 1,000 people playing, let's just, round number, there's 1,000 people playing in-season champions, let's just say. 250 would be, well, I guess it wouldn't, how would it be? Oh, we know the percentages, don't we? We need to go into that, actually. I was just thinking, like, would it be 250, 250, 250, 250, but it wouldn't be, would it? It'd be way less in Div 1. Probably be, we'll have to see the percentages in a minute. Anyway, I mean, those numbers seem fine to me. Like, there's nothing that I'm seeing there that's too wonky, lads. If there's anything that jumps out at you for those ones, let me know. But I'm not seeing anything crazy, realistically. So, like, if you finish 6th to 10th in Div 1, that's as good as basically finishing 5th in Div 2 or vice versa. Just catching up on chat. Daniel Cooper, what's going on, mate? So I suppose it would be dynamic, right? Some managers would prefer to remain in low divisions to get those podiums. Everything is so unclear. How do you get promoted if it's based on the cards? You get promoted on the scores, mate, of that game week. So from game week 1, game week 463, if you put 5-star rare cards into a division, like into a game week, those are probably going to be in Div 1 that week. If they don't perform, then you're going to be relegated. You know, if they don't, we'll get into the percentages, but basically there's percentages on, you know, who gets relegated from Division 1 after game week 1, who gets promoted from Division 2, etc. We'll get into all that in a minute. But okay, that's fine. And this is contenders. So just judging off the top, the main thing I see here is Div 1 gets £1,000 or $1,000, I say, and then Division 1 in Champ gets over double that, which kind of makes sense. Pays down to 120th in Div 2 and Div 3 at $25. Okay. Interesting. Charlie says, love the boxes. Love that the boxes are just cards and level ups rather than coins and filler. Yeah. Gets straight to the point then, doesn't it, to be fair? I mean, we don't really need to go into the numbers of these, I don't think, as far as, like, the amounts they're rewarding. Like, we're just not, like, we don't know exactly how many people are going to be entering these competitions. It's all going to be up for sort of debate, I guess, for now. And then this is the classic season. So this is where there is cash, but only for the podium. And this is champions, for example. So you've got, if you're in Div 1, you're winning, obviously the cash plus the star rares. For third, you get a tier 1 plus 500 quid. And then the boxes situation. So top 5% will get 3 elite boxes. That's nuts, isn't it? So, say in Div 1 champion, there's 100 people in there, for argument's sake. So, 10% would be 10. 5% would be top 5. So, let's just say there is 100 people in here. Top 5 would be winning a tier 1. I know it's 4 to 6. Let's just say it's 6. So, anyone that finishes in that top 6 will get, those prizes listed there, plus 3 elite boxes. And elite boxes contain stars to tier 3 rare cards and tier 4 and tier 3 and tier 4 super rare cards or level up items. So you could end up winning, I know it'd be very unrealistic obviously, but you could technically win 4 cards if you finish top 5 in Division 1, right? 3 from the boxes, the elite boxes, and then obviously the card that you win and the cash. Should technically you could win 5 rewards. 1 cash and 4 cards. I know that's super unrealistic, but you know what I'm saying. Div 2, so you get the premium boxes, and those contain stars to tier 5 rares. And then you've got the standard boxes and then the light boxes. So, all quite self-explanatory. Weaselmont has a question, Kiwi Fruit. I was actually talking to my mum about that. Isn't there like fiber or something in the skin? I don't actually eat it myself, but I am a big kiwi fan. And no, I don't personally, but I have seen people online and stuff saying that they do eat the skin. So anyway, Contenders Classic. So obviously less money, yeah, half the money basically here compared to Champion. I know we haven't seen Challenger yet, but we'll obviously get into that. Yeah, I mean the numbers, like we said, how many teams are there going to be in Classic Contender? Let's say. There's going to be, like, what is, yeah, we don't know. There's going to be a lot. Like, if the total card amount is, say, 500, let's say there's 5,000 people in those competitions across the 4 divisions, well, then it's a 10%, win rate, isn't it? Or 10% sort of, yeah, 10% of people in that game week, in that rare Classic Contenders are going to win a prize. Yeah? That's if there's 5,000 players. That's at rare level. I don't know if there will be 5,000. There might be. I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there for now. You can find all the other prize pools. Yeah. Should we go over to the dedicated blog now, or should we keep going? Let me know, lads, in the chat. If you vote for blog, or if you vote for dedicated blog, just type dedicated blog. If you want me to carry on, then we'll carry on. Yeah, we'll take a 2-minute little minute break. Yeah, you do have to take in the multi-entry. You're right, CK. I agree. No, Jack, I didn't say they were guaranteed, did I? 4 to 8%. I said technically you could. Yeah. I wasn't saying you will win 5 rewards. We'll go blog. Sorare Hollander said blog. We'll go blog. Come on then. That's not ideal. Okay. Prize pool reveal. Below is the comprehensive list of the new prizes, blah, 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 blah. See, why is... Okay, so this is in-season limited. Let me go bigger again. Everyone's saying blog. Okay, let's do it. So we've got limited in-season champions. So we've got 5 divisions here. Let's argue. To be fair, they're not giving us the exact amount of reward. Oh, well, this is cash, isn't it? I mean, we could do the simple. Well, it's not simple maths, but lads, what are we guesstimating? Like how many? Let's just give me a round number of how many teams you think will be in this limited in-season champ competition, like for the next 8 weeks after, from March 29th onwards. I'm going to calculate how many cash prizes there are. I just want to, as like a bit of a percentage, maybe 270, 130. So they're giving out 950 cash prizes in limited in-season champ. Let's just call it. Oh, I know I shouldn't round it up, but let's just call it 1,000 for now. or we can call it 950. Let's just do it 950 because that's what it is. How many teams are going to be in here? Basically. If someone can get me the information of how many in champs, probably around 40k. Yeah, there's probably is going to be a lot more, but yeah, okay. Ian says 40,000. So let's just call it. Let's just say they have 1,000 prizes for now. How many times does 1,000 go into 40,000? It's like 4%, isn't it? Is that 4%? Is that 4%, or am I just bugging out? Am I bugging out? It's 0.4, isn't it? Yeah, this is in season. Sorry, yeah. Basically, there's 950 places for cash here from adding up, 80, 190, 280, 270, and then 130. $40K plus however many multi-enter. Well, you think there'll be 40K plus the multi-entries. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, because there's probably, what, 20 odd thousand on a given game week before multi-entry. Everyone has 2. Yeah, I think you wouldn't be far off saying 40,000. I think that's 0.0. That's 2.3%, I think. So if there was 40,000 entrants into All-Star, into limited in-season champs, 2.3% would be paid out in cash. If that makes sense, right? I think my maths are kind of, yeah. A says it there, 2.5%, yeah. I wasn't far off. 2.3% I think is exactly, well, I use the calculator. But, yeah, okay, well, I mean, 2.3%. But I guess it's not as black and white as that, because there's going to be more players in Div 2, Div 3, and Div 4 compared to maybe Div 5 and Div 1. So you're better off, like, once we know how many users there are in Div 1, then it's how many users are in Div 1 divided by 80, if that makes sense, right? Sorry, Holland says that does not look very promising. Oh, Baffy just became a member. Baffy, I appreciate that, mate. What an absolute legend. Yeah, I was going to say, you have the 3%, so you've definitely been a member before. But maybe you're a member again. Thank you, Baffy. So 1 in every 40 game weeks, Nixon says. As in are you saying, like, you could expect to win 1 in every... you could expect to win once in every 40 game weeks? I don't think that necessarily is the correct maths, is it? Sorry, I was just replying to a message. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being stupid, but I don't know. And then we've got the Premier League one then. So 45, 145, 245, 315, 330, 320, 340 prizes, cash prizes in limited in-season Prem. Did I say 340, yeah? I think I said 340. Ian says you can't judge because... good point, Ian. That's a good point, yeah. That is a good point. Yeah, really good point, Ian. So when we're saying 40k, there's no way there's going to be 40,000 in-season teams. No, there's not. Especially because you need four new season cards. So that's a really good point, actually. Good point, Ian. So, yeah, you could probably half that quite comfortably and say 20,000. So you're looking at 5% maybe. Maybe even half it again and go 10,000. I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Ian said. We're not going to know, are we? But whatever. And then this is the limited in-season challenges. So again, cash only. So you got 140. Feels like there's lots of places here again. So is this the same as this 950 as well? So we got 140, 320. What's that? 460. Oh, this is more. This is way more. Let me do the exact math. I don't want to get this wrong. So 140, 320, 350, 270, and 130. That's 1,210 cash places in challenges in season. Again, obviously, it's going to be hard for us to know exactly how many participants, but it feels fine. Alex says, so will the Prem comp be separate from the Champions comp? They will be separate, Al, yeah. And you can play Prem cards in Champ. Yeah, you can. You also still have the Cap comps and All-Star running until next season, don't we? Don't know what to... Yeah, Jack, so we will have All-Star and the Caps. All-Star, though, is completely nerfed in the sense of, like, you only win cash on the podium, if that makes sense. Where now it goes down to, like, however many places, that won't be the case. It'll only be podium. Obviously, in 240, you'll still be able to win the threshold and stuff, but yeah. So this is contenders in season. Let me see how many we've got here. So 150. I'm just talking about how many cash places there are. I think this is exact same, maybe? 280 and 130. So there's more cash prizes or places in contender. There's 1,230 here, if anyone cares. And then at rare level, okay, so you've got, this is champion season. We've kind of seen that already. That's one of the ones we already saw, wasn't it? This is the Prem in season. So 2,000 for the win in Div 1, 1,000 for the win in Div 2, 500 for Div 3, and then Div 4, 240 for the winner. This is, yeah, okay. Okay. And then challengers, quite similar. Well, no, it's way less than the Prem. Well, not way less, but it is less. So this is Challenger in season, and that's paying out 50, 170, 290, 350 places in Challenger in season. So this is like the video I made yesterday about buying the, the MLS cards. Like this is, what I'm targeting basically. I don't know which division I'll be in, but this is what I'm looking at effectively. So there's 350 cash places on offer here. So yeah. This is where the MLS boys and the Turkish boys and Portuguese, all that jazz will be situated. And then contenders. Are we still live? I think we are. Contenders has 60, 180, 300, 350 again. Okay, so that's the same. Cash places. And then super rare. So this is champ in season super rare. So 3 divisions. There are 14, 22 cash places. So like this is the one competition at super rare level I won't be I don't have the cards to compete at super rare champions. So yeah, this is out of my sort of realm. But yeah, what sort of numbers of players are we expecting here? I know we can have multi-entry, of course, but like, yeah, how many teams are going to be in the in-season champs realistically? 7, 21. Say there's 30. Let's just call it's 29 places. Is it going to be a 10% again? So like maybe just under 300 players playing in-season champs for the next 8 months. I don't know. 8 game weeks potentially. I don't know. And then we've got the Premier League in season, which obviously we have already, but I guess has it changed a little bit? I'm going to assume it has, or going to change a little bit. And then we've got challengers, contenders, and then unique. I mean, I don't think many of us here really care about unique, but that's the in-season champs, Premier League in season, challengers in season, contender in season. Okay, so then these are the classic ones, I think. So note that we received the right to tweak the amounts inside the divisions to correct potential inconsistencies, but the total amount will remain the same. So this is classic limited champ. So these are the cards, obviously, they'll be given out. So let's calculate how many cards they'll be given out, not including reward boxes, just pure, numbers on the screen there. So 141 plus 337 plus 407 plus 364 plus 155. Tough scene for one division in unique. Pranksy. Yeah, Pranksy will just be mopping up only. So there's 1,404 prizes in limited classic champions. 1,404. And that is excluding calculating how many cards get pulled from the reward boxes. So 1,400. Yeah, now this is where you could argue there's going to be a lot of participants, right? Because it's classic mode, so you can play any, champion card here. What are we saying? Like, are we saying 40,000? I don't know. Like, what is it on a given game week, lads, who play classic champions right now? Or, not classic, but, whoever plays limited champions right now, what are we looking at on a given game week? Is it 20,000, roughly? So then you've got to factor in, okay, yeah, there is multi-entry, but you've also got to factor in, well, how many of those teams are going to be playing in season? You know what I mean? Will says, it says on the top left, total cards rewarded. Not sure if that includes boxes. Good point. Oh, yeah, it says on the top. I don't know what. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, good shout. So, yeah, that 2010 then, that basically means there's going to be like 700 cards given out in boxes. Because I calculated 1,404 cards from the actual divisions listed here. So, yeah, good points. That is going to... So, basically a third of the cards given away are from the boxes. And let's argue there's 20,000 players in here. I know there's probably more, but let's say it is 20,000. Then that's 10% of players going home with a card, basically. If I've done my maths right there. Yeah, good spot on the total card rewards. That's interesting. This is the Prem Classic. So you've got 608, but that's including the boxes. It's probably going to be something like 400 then, across pure cards, and then the rest are going to be in boxes. But like the fun thing is, like, I didn't look into it myself, but did they also announce we will be getting placed in the divisions? Yeah. So at Holland, I think it goes off like the strength of that lineup. So if there's 5 star rares in your lineup for Classic Premier League, let's say, at limited, then you're going to go into Division 1 for that first game week, I think from what it said, we'll read through it, but I'm pretty sure it says that. So 2,161 rewards in Challengers, 2,300 rewards in Contenders. That makes sense. It's probably more rewards in Contenders. Alex says there was 11k in Champ EU last week. Oh, well, so if we say there was 11k in Champ EU, let's just argue 25% of that goes over to in-season. I know there's multi-entry, but you know what I mean. But then there's going to be people who buy, multiple teams. Let's just call it 10k then. So basically, if 10k players play it and there's 2,000 rewards, that's a 1 in 5 basically. 1 in 5 of players are going to get rewards if we're using that calculation. You know what I mean? Which seems fine. Yeah, Charlie says goes off gallery strength for that specific competition. Right. So, yeah, if you only have 5 cards from that competition, they're all stars, you're going into Division 1 basically. That's interesting though, isn't it? Like what happens if I buy 20 MLS cards, 9 are star rares, or I don't know, 5 are star rares, and 15 of them are tier 5s? Does the algorithm go, well, okay, he's got more tier 5s, or way more tier 5s than he does star rares. He's going into one of the lower divisions. But then I could go in and play my 5 star rares on that game week and smash. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't know how that will actually work out. Sorare Holland said, did you add the MLS? Well, MLS doesn't go into Champion, does it? Alex says Champ EU. Oh. Yeah, Champ Europe is Champions, right? There's no MLS in there. Liam says, for multiple entry, is it your best? No. So, Liam, like, if you have 3 lineups in Classic Limited Champions, for example, like, those 3 lineups will be placed in specific divisions. You might have one in Division 1, you might have one in Division 3, and you might have one in Division 5. They're all like separate entities, They're like mutually exclusive from each other. They don't play against each other, your 3 teams. You know what I mean? If you had 3 teams. Looking for food said, I'll take those odds. Yeah, they feel fine. Those odds feel fine. Will says, got to remember, All-Star goes away in August, so maybe they expect more people playing Champions in this transitional period as well. Same for other comps. Yeah, that's why they've nerfed All-Star, really, I'd say. From what I gather. So you've got Premier League, Challengers, done Contenders. Then this is the rare side of things. So there's just under 400 prizes here, rare, including the boxes. Again, fine. And obviously you get the cash for the Division 1. Premier League Classic. Pretty fun again. 168 total rewards there, which is interesting. Tier 5s. Okay. I mean, yeah, there's not much to really. Sorry, Holland says, how do you make a complex game look even more complex? I know. Tell me about it. When you sit on some ETH, where to go now, champ? It all depends on what you've got already, I would say. You know what I mean? Ian says your divisions are set up by your top one, so the one below, yeah. So everyone will have a team in Division 5 to start, technically. Yeah, okay. So if you're Division 1, then you'll have one in Div 2 and then the third in Div 5. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, contenders, just under 500 prizes here. Okay. 650 quid for the first place in Div 1. 1 star rare given out across Div 2 and Div 3. Interesting. Interesting. Then we've got super rare. So prize pool classic for champions. There's 46 total cards. Broody has contenders and challenger. I mean, the issue is if you're buying Champion, you've only got, not you've only got, but you've got 8, from when this update comes in, you've got like 8 game weeks from game week 463 till the end of the season, basically. Obviously, you can use them next season as well in Classic, don't get me wrong. But you know what I mean? Like, you don't have a full season of them. Liam says, have they? Yeah, they have explained it, Liam. We will get into that in a minute. It's just not in this prize pool part. Again, I think we can disregard the super rares and unique stuff. Let's go back to the actual blog, though, because it does tell us how to get promoted and relegated and stuff, I think. I hope. Right, so yeah, we've done the prize pools now. Okay, tier and adjustments. We also want to... excuse me, my voice is going a minute, lads. We also want to share some adjustments relating to the tiering of our cards. These changes aim to bring a more balanced and thrilling reward distribution, blah, blah, blah. Tier adjustments for league-specific pools. We're changing the tier percentages for our league-specific competitions. This only applies to the Premier League comp during the transitional phase, and will extend to the Bundesliga and La Liga comps when they begin in August. So here's the breakdown. Let me make that a little bit smaller. So yeah, basically, so this is the league specific. This is just Premier League related now. So before, only 2% of cards were star rares, I'm guessing, like from Premier League. Now there's 5% is what I'm guessing, that kind of means. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really too bothered about all those numbers, to be honest. Once people work out how stinky these prizes will actually are, prices are going to go through the floor. Do we think, RJ? I don't know. Those league-specific comps may include the top cards. Therefore, the 5% of top players are truly stars. Okay. Also, this adjustment acknowledges the unique competitive nature of league-specific competitions and ensures a more meaningful representation of the top players. For instance, keeping 2% of stars would restrict the number of players available for star rewards, preventing Sorare from regularly rewarding, top quality cards. Please note that our tiering percentages for all comps, champion, challenger, and contender under 23 all-star uncapped remain the same. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, tiering adjustment for unique. Well, we don't care about the unique, sorry. Sorry, lads. Sorry to you whales out there. We're not going through it. Nico Williams is now a tier 3. Player of the month, mate. For Notts Forest there. Player of the month. Okay, these adjustments, blah, blah, blah. More details about our division structure. Here we go. So, let's take a look at the new exciting division structure. Managers will have a clear, defined path to progression, or full progression, experiencing the highs and lows of promotion and relegation. Climbing the ladder will unlock access to better rewards and, of course, manager prestige. This provides an exciting chance for managers to demonstrate their skills by tactically leading their teams to the top. During the transitional phase, the division structure will be available for the following in-season and classic competitions. So Premier League, Champs, Challenger, and Contender. So that tells me that under 23 doesn't have a division. Like, it's just one division. Right? That's what that tells me. During the transition phase, the division structure will be... Yeah. That's what I'm reading there, lads. Only one div for unique. Prizes will rise when All-Star is gone in August. Yeah, good point, Sam. That is a good point. How will it work? So in each comp and for each scarcity, you'll be able to create up to 3 teams. At the end of a game week, each of your teams can be promoted or relegated or stay in the same division and win rewards independently from each other. Please note that during the transitional phase, not submitting a lineup won't lead to relegation. However, this line doesn't make sense, I don't think. However, a team invalidated team due to a card listing will be relegated. So that line, I'm no English teacher, but that doesn't really make too much sense to me. But I get what they're saying. Basically, if you do the list or play thing, like if you list a card for sale, like this in a lineup, that card will get relegated. That team will get relegated, basically, yeah? From what I'm gathering from that. I think under 23 has no div. Yeah. Okay, and on March 29th, your first team will be placed in a division based on your gallery strength for that specific comp. In this case, gallery strength is determined by the quality of the cards you own that are eligible for the competition. A Premier League star card contributes more to your Premier League gallery strength than a Premier League Tier 3. You're right, state the obvious. If you submit a second team, it will compete in the division directly below the first one. If you submit a third one, it will compete in the lowest existing division, providing the thrill of starting from the bottom and working your way to the top. For example, if your first limited team is assigned Division 2 and you create 2 additional teams, they will compete in Division 3 and 5. Here's a breakdown of the promotion and relegation. Here we go. So, let me make that a bit bigger. So basically, depending on where you start, let's say I start in Division 3 for the first game week, and I'm in the top 30%, well then I'm at the end of that game week, I'm starting the next game week, I'm going to be promoted to Division 2. Quite simple to understand. The top 50% get promoted from Div 5 to Div 4. Again, pretty interesting. But yeah, quite self-explanatory, I think that is. I don't think there's that many grey areas there. I don't know. Maybe there is, but I don't think so. For super rare, it is, 25 and a 50% situations. Yeah, if you're in Div 1 and you're in the bottom 50%, you're gonski. You're down to Division 2. RJ said there are going to be so many entries in each division. It's going to be insanely competitive, and the prizes / chances of winning doesn't reflect the player prices, in my opinion. Hopefully I'm wrong. If I understand well, your last team is always in Div 5. I think it always starts in Div 5. If it gets, if that team then gets promoted, it's not going to be in Div 5 anymore. But I think it starts in Div 5, yeah. A says that div structure is horrendous. Div 5 will have so much variance. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. But the type of teams that are down there, I mean, I just don't know how competitive they're going to be. I don't know what sort of cards, as far as tiers go, that are going to be in Division 5 lineups, I don't know. No one knows yet. So yeah, unique division, 1 division. Our model has been designed so that there are a few game weeks into... They needed a space between that, didn't they? Again, should have been an English teacher. Into the promotion relegation system. The majority of the lineups will be in the middle divisions, with fewer lineups in the higher and lower. Yeah, we kind of understood that earlier. There's more prizes available in the middle tiers, Division 2s, Division 3s and 4s, compared to 1s and 5s. Limited anyway. Advancing through divisions will not only unlock access to better cards and cash rewards, but also access to better reward boxes. A closer look at the reward boxes. So, reward boxes competition in 2023 was a success, blah, 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 okay. So yeah, the higher your division, the better your box. We kind of get that. Just catching up on the chat. Liam says, I disagree. I think everyone in this live stream won't be in the bottom div for more than a couple of game weeks. Yeah, I mean, I'm not putting it past them. Lewis says, hi, Harry. Sadly, only realised now that you're streaming and it seems I already missed 40 minutes. Could you summarise your opinion? Lewis, I mean, not saying I don't have an opinion, but all we've kind of done is just go through the numbers, really, and kind of just guess how many team or how many lineups are going to be in certain divisions and calculate or, divide that with how many rewards there are and come up with a few percentages. Nothing's concrete. We don't know how many, no one knows how many rewards are going to be out there, but the numbers I've seen feel fine. I haven't seen anything crazy. Again, it's so hard to say, Lou, because, we don't know how many lineups are going to be in these divisions, really. So, Charlie says you have to incentivize people making a second and third team. Having them in one div below and div 5 does that. Yeah, I can agree with that. Ian says, I think people are thinking there's thousands of people able to put 3 teams out in each comp. It's a small percentage. Completely agree, Ian. I completely agree. I don't think people realise that there's hardly any, not hardly any, but, you know, not many people will be having three teams. And of those 3 teams, you know, barely any of them will be that competitive. You know what I mean? Like 1 or 2 might be, but the third will be a dud, you know? So yeah. During the transitional phase, reward boxes will be available in every new classic comp, Premier League, Champion, Challenger, and Contenders. These boxes will hold the potential to unlock cards from all tiers and scarcities, along with valuable level up items that could help you better compete in the following game weeks. Keep an eye out for additional boxes we will introduce in the future. Exciting card rewards await you in the boxes. If we take Div 1 Classic, for example, at Limited, there's 11 stars up for grabs through the leaderboards for the top 11 ranked players each game week. On top of that, there'll be an extra 4-star rares distributed through the elite boxes won in this division each game week. You can aim for these rewards regardless of your ranking as long as you win a box. Yeah, so you could end up finishing like not in the top 11, obviously, where the star rares are, and you could end up with a star rare. Like, on top of your rewards. You know, you could finish, say, 30th maybe, win a tier 3 or 4, or whatever it is for that, you know, place, and win a star rare from the box. Like, that is pretty exciting, those type of things. Someone has to win them as well. Like, 4 players are going to win those star rares, you know. The summaries we have to wait and see until the 29th. Yeah, that's a good point. Sorry, Holland, I agree. Yeah, okay. Blah, 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 blah. And remember, the higher division, the greater number of high-quality cards available in the boxes. Also, the percentages to get the card in a box varies depending on the competition and is approximately between 4 and 8%. Note that a better position gets you 3 boxes, meaning a 10 to 20% chance to get a card. Yeah, okay. I can see how they've come to that sort of math. Please note that unique competitions won't feature reward boxes during the transitional phase, as their integration into the scarcity is more delicate due to supply. We will explore potential implementation. Okay. The overview of the boxes, I'm not really too bothered going into that. With approximately 25% of lineups receiving boxes through classic comps each game week. The depth, so yeah, 25%. For the star rares, for example, 4 people out of that 25% are going to win star rares for not finishing in the top, you know, star rare positions just through the boxes. So every type of card from all different can be instrumental in securing your card, blah, blah, blah. Added an extra layer of excitement. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Liam says, am I right in thinking you should sell anything that has no value to you? Based off the Prem comment talking about weighting of stars against tier 3s, should you sell your lower gallery value? No, in a weird way, Leah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it depends. I know what you mean. That's the thing. We don't know how they're weighting things, you know? That's a good point. I really don't know. That is a good point, Liam. Celebrating America and Asia. We are going to be bringing substantial rewards to some of our most engaging special weekly comps. Be on the lookout for MLS Masters. Following the model of the Premier League Winter, it will feature a whopping 150k in total cash across 3 game weeks and will start Friday, March 22nd. That is next weekend, yeah? I think. Here are a few additional details about this comp. Entry requirements are slightly more lenient than the in-season comp. Following the Prem, you only need 2. Well, you can use 2 classic in limited and rare. So you only need 3 in season. And for super rare, you only need 2 in season. That feels interesting. Unique needs 2 in season as well. But it has a 280 point cap. Interesting. Dominic, what have you missed? You've missed everything, Dom. Maybe rewind it from the start, mate, and start from the start because we've gone through quite a lot, to be fair. But you don't have to. You can obviously do that later if you want. So yeah, this is how the special weekly is going to look for the MLS. So it's 3 game weeks long. They're giving away 60k at rare, so that's 20k a weekend, I'm going to assume. 10k every weekend at super rare, and then 150k total. Don't worry, as cash weekly specials will also be coming for much loved leagues and parts of the world. Here's an overview of the Asian special weekly prize pools. You can expect more info closer to their launch date. So K-League, 100k for the K-League, which sounds pretty fun. And And then J-League, 100k as well, across all the scarcities. More to come. The fun doesn't end there. We are also excited to expand on a set of special weeklies with various card requirements, delivering a wider range of prizes, including cards, jerseys, merchandise, and real-world experiences. Rest assured that we will focus on some of these competitions to ensure that midweek game weeks are more engaging than ever. As an example, you can anticipate us celebrating the midweek European and Latin America regional comps in April with special weekly formats featuring exciting rewards and special rules. The competition will be capped and there won't be any in-season requirements. Okay, that's cool. In these competitions, you will have the opportunity to win cards from all the teams participating in those regional games. Okay. That's not all. We've been listening to managers' ideas and working diligently to create engaging, dynamic, and rewarding special weeklies for you to show off your skills, blah, blah, blah. If you enjoyed the specialist jersey lover, then get ready to be surprised with more enjoyable and entertaining concept that will give you a utility to your cards of all tiers. We are particularly excited to expand with new formats that include bringing Rivals Tactics. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. Rivals Tactics, Tiki Taka, Gegenpress, and others to special weeklies. I don't think I like that idea, I can't lie. As well as competitions where collection scores are boosted for a given game week. Okay. Just catch up on the chat, lads. Will says, I think they valued the gallery in a additive way, meaning the more care, the better. Stars are weighted more, but the more cards you have, the higher competitive value in Sorare's view. Maybe, yeah. RJ, maybe some all-star and cap 270 also. I was thinking 5,000 to 6,000 entrants per week, playing for 270 cards, which would be half the rewards compared to now. That was my concern. Yeah, but of course all-star and cap... Well, no, all-star and cap are going to have the same amount of cards from what I've read, or what we've read, no? I'm sure they will. There will be players from All-Star, Cap, etc. as well, not going to be massive amount. I personally think it will be easier to win now in this setup. Super rares look shit. I don't know, to be honest, Johnny. I don't know. So we've done the special weeklies. We are gradually expanding our special weekly plans during this transitional phase, while the global comps, All-Star, Cap modes are still in place, covering all these comps on Sorare. Expect a special weekly plan, blah, blah, blah. Stay tuned. What else can we expect? Coin rewards. Coin reward distribution will be revisited ahead of the transitional phase. We will share more about our plans and numbers closer to the beginning of our transitional phase. New common card format. As mentioned, we are making changes to the amateur and kickoff format to improve guiding our new pro players early on, helping them feel like they are learning and making progress. The biggest change is merging the draft and the team composition. Managers will no longer draft 8 cards, swap them week in, week out, and then choose 5 to enter. Instead, managers will directly create their own team from all players in the corresponding leagues, okay, with no caps. When game weeks end, managers will be able to draft any 5 cards they want from the following game week. For the following game week, sorry. No common cards will remain in the player's gallery, just like Rivals. Okay, that makes sense. As an integral part of the new pro game, relegation and promotion will be a key part of the common game. Managers will earn reward boxes, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Basic tutorials will be available for each in-season comp. Sounds good. Liam says, so that makes me think I should shift the shit to Pavel. Maybe, maybe not. Cards available before the start of the season. We acknowledge your concerns about the card potentially not being available when the new season begins, and we want to emphasize that we are diligently working to ensure that cards are ready for when the season begins. We aim to celebrate the start of the European season with grandeur in August, and we are committed to making sure everything is prepared for that occasion. Rest assured, we will keep you updated on our progress regarding this matter. Revamp lobby. The pro lobby is set to go on significant change ahead of the 29th. A major redesign is on the horizon, featuring a more intuitive and easy to navigate UI. Okay, great. Huge thanks for your unwavering support, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and I'm not going to share it. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot to digest, as there was, when we found out about, the new updates a while ago. Like we've reiterated many times, and as you have as well in the chat, we're not going to know, are we? We're not going to know how many teams are going to be in these divisions and whatever. That's just a fact until the 29th. It's one of them. But, you know, it's one of those situations where I've, you know, kind of prepped my gallery to be able to do a bit of both, i.e., you know, play some in-season comps. You know, that's why I bought a few MLS cards, or in-season MLS cards. I've got a few contender in-season teams. Like, I got a Riker stack maybe that I can throw into contenders maybe for in-season. And then I've got some champion cards as well. So, yeah, it all depends on, you know, your risk appetite, where you want to play, where you enjoy playing already. Do you add to that? You know, there's loads of things to... to contemplate and stuff. There's no right or wrong answer, to be honest. Like someone said earlier, should I be playing champ? It's like, well, depends. Are you playing champ already? Do you have the budget to play champ? Like, there's lots of things that go into all that. But yeah, lads, let me know what you're thinking, you know, as a whole. Like, are we feeling fine? Are we feeling apprehensive? Or are we just completely in the unknown? Even though we have all the information now. Well, not all, but it feels like we have a lot. You know, how do we feel? Let me know in the chat, and then, yeah, we'll probably knock it on the head in the next couple of minutes. There'll be loads more content. I think Sorare Data and Sorare Andrews will be around at 6, I think, so they'll be live for that. And yeah, that's all I've got to say for now, lads. Let me know in the chat what you're thinking. Someone just made me an offer for Hoy Brighton, so we're gonna see how that looks. Do I want a M1 Sang? Probably. Oh, wow. It's pretty expensive, to be fair. But no thank you. Hoy Brighton is part of my URA stack. And yeah, unfortunately, I'm not letting him go. Just catching up on the chat. It looks so simple to explain all of this to onboarding players. Yeah. If only, David, if only. Rico, man, I was surprised about the drop in cash at the top when comparing to current Prem. Yeah, so what is it, Rico, man? I think it's like $3,000 right now, isn't it? For rare, and now it's going down to $2,000. Is that right? Kubasaki says, this update is so bad for small galleries. What about this update is, you know, is bad for small galleries? Johnny says, less rewards and less chances of winning means less users. I think Super Rare is a little bit squished. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Like, Super Rares, you know, as far as, like, the money goes, it didn't seem that they get the same love as Rares and whatever. But I guess there's less of them. Less cards, less people playing. I know they are more expensive, so you'd argue, no, there should be more money there, right? But there's less people buying them. So, you know, as far as revenue goes, surely they make more money from rare cards than they do Super Rare, right? Because there's just more rares to go around. Is my guess. So, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of get that. Patrick says, so to get it right, your third team will always be in Div 5. So Wales will dominate the divisions where casuals, new users will be trying to enter. Sounds terrible. No, Patrick. They're not always going to be in Div 5 from what my understanding is. They'll start in Division 5. But if that team's too good, it's going to get promoted. Like, it doesn't just stay there. You know what I mean? It starts in Div 5. It doesn't stay in Div 5. Unless that team is shit and it doesn't score very well. Ian says, right now, you compete against everyone. The new format, you are split into divisions, so less competition. A 100th place right now in All-Star will likely win you a lower division now, so bring it on. Yeah, for sure, Ian. 100%. Things feel more segregated going forward. Way more. Mikey Baston, to the moon, / destroyed the platform, or somewhere in between. One thing we'll say is they told us we're simplifying yet are so fucking complicated. I know. I think they think we're all PhD candidates and we could just understand everything, but we can't. Siri, what's going on? Maybe I'm super wrong, but people lost excitement about the game. We do not have enough people joining the platform. Actually, we lost current players who were playing the game or made the gallery smaller. So we have so many cards in the platform for the same amount of users. I think there should be card burning. Maybe I'm wrong. But what does burning tier 4s and like what does burning tier 5s and stuff do? Like you know what I mean? Like what does that really change? No one's gonna burn star rares in tier 1, so I don't really get the burning thing, really. Yeah, Liam says I actually think small galleries will have a lot of fun in the smaller divs. Exactly. You know, like it's basically like stay in your lane, so rare basically saying like we're giving you your lane now. You know, you don't have to compete against the mega whales as a smaller gallery. Like if you're a Division 4, Division 5 gallery, you're gonna be staying there, you know, and that's just your level. It's like in football. You know, you play at the level, you know, the team you play for is. Like, you know, a League One player shouldn't be playing Champions League, and he's not for a reason. Whereas now on Sorare, or you know, before this update, you could be a minnow and you could be playing against, you know, the mega whales on this game at limited level, because some whales play every scarcity, right? And they have amazing cards everywhere. Well, now your little gallery is going to be in Division 4 and Division 5. And even though that Wales third team is going to be in Division 5 for the first gallery, for the first game week, I can't see it staying there. You know what I mean? Like, that team will probably be too good and they'll end up getting promoted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sorry about the rant. Right, what are we saying? Rico Man said 2k to 1k at limited. Interesting. Noob question, playing cat modes. When do the player cost update? For example, player that played midweek having a DMP previously, if I want him for this weekend. So the midweeks don't count, basically, Jack. As in, like, a player's like L15 will change from, like, a weekend. And if he plays in that midweek, the L15 doesn't change for that weekend, for, like, the next weekend. You get what I'm saying? Hope that makes sense. Division format was always needed. Allowing Wales to compete against new players was always horrible and wrong for the long term. Up the arse. 100%, I agree. Random loot boxes could give a big boost to smaller galleries. 100%, Bob. 100%. Kubasaki saying, onboarding new users will be so hard with no 240 as it is nearly impossible to gain any capital to buy cards. Well, you have to win new cards to sell new cards to make cash. Do you know what I mean? Sorare is not a charity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a business at the end of the day. There's a reason Peterborough aren't winning the FA Cup. Exactly that, Al. Also, Wales won't be in Div 3, so that division will be very open to everyone. Exactly, Lee. 100%. Rare Classic Comp, 168 cards total, but the rewards only add up to 144. So 54. Yeah, that's right, RJ. Basically, 1/3 of rewards are from the loot boxes, from the total amount, is what I've gathered. What if you could burn higher scarcity cards for lower ones? Tier 2 being the highest tier you could burn. Burn 3 tier 3s, get a tier 2 limited. Yeah, that like on the surface, that doesn't seem like a terrible idea, Mikey. No, I can kind of get on board with that to a degree. But like, for example, myself, why would somebody who just plays rare, why would they burn rare cards for limited if they're not going to play limited? You know what I mean? That's kind of the only pushback I'd have initially. But yeah, open to the ideas. They save so much money after changing concept of the threshold, but now they're giving away too small, in my opinion. How many times do you finish top 50 in general? Depends on your cards. Depends on the game week. I don't know, Serial. Depends on the quality of your cards, I guess, and luck. Exactly, Alec. You can't expect to make hundreds of quid for free. No, that would be a charity or benefits. You know, government benefits, right? Yeah. Loot boxes have a 4% chance that a card is very disappointing. It's 4 to 8%, isn't it? I thought 4 to 8%, Jonathan. I'm surprised how high the rewards are in Div 5. First place gets the same money as the top of as the top 5 of Div 1. But that's the good thing, Rico Man, right? That gives smaller galleries a chance to fucking kick on, right? Do you get what I mean? Like, if you don't have a great in-season team and it's in Div 5 and it wins, you're getting a decent amount of cash compared to the Div 1s. That allows you to then kick on. You know what I'm saying? Hat Legion, maybe a naive take, but Sorare are the only ones who have tested the new system and they're adamant that we'll earn more rewards. I trust that for now. Yeah, good point. Sorare Holland, from what I've seen so far, I think the boxes are going to play a big part in Sorare 2.0. Yeah. That makes sense. Just Mike here. Also, specific comps will require less score to reach rewards since less cards are in play. Yeah, there's more segregation, right, going forward. So, yeah, I get that. Jack says, cool, so I have a zero cost keeper for the weekend. Yeah, that's basically right, Jack, if the midweek doesn't count, for sure. Lewis says, I think it would be nice to burn cards for loot boxes. It would give tier 5s and tier 4s a bit more value? Yeah, potentially. Yeah, that could be a decent little mechanism, actually, Lou. Yeah. So Jonathan says, 4th in contender Super Rare Div 2 and Div 3 win 100 to 130. That's half the old threshold for hitting 4th. That definitely ain't easy. But the game isn't supposed to be easy, Jonathan. Like, what world are you living in to think that this game should be easy? Like, games shouldn't be easy. I don't get this narrative. Like, why should it be easy? Just because, Sorare sort of built themselves up on things being easy at one point, or easier, when they first introduced the threshold in All-Star years ago. And, yeah, it's got harder and stuff, but, it gets to a stage where it's just not sustainable. Like, you can't just keep giving out free money. The world don't work like that, unfortunately, mate. So, yeah, that's the way I look at it. Jonathan says, I see a lot of super rares dropping in value. I can kind of see where you're coming from, maybe. Yeah, there is less money on offer than in rares, but there's less players to play against. So, do you get what I'm saying? Another big difference is the loot boxes between Div 1 and Div 5. Yeah, that is the incentive probably to build up. Recommend. Oh, it's definitely a great thing. I think it's great for smaller galleries and weirdly for whales, but not for the mid-sized galleries. Yeah, good point, Rico, man. That could be correct. I can see that narrative for sure. Narrative is that the super market was propped up from the threshold. I mean, yeah, it definitely helped it grow, didn't it? Because before the super rare threshold, yeah, the super rare market was in a weird place, and maybe it goes back to being a weird place. Yeah, I don't know. I'm completely naive if you think super... I never said that, Jonathan. I don't know if you're talking to me, but I didn't say they're not going to crash massively, right? DD, too many comments about things need to be easier to obtain. If nothing is hard to achieve, there will be no value in them. Exactly. Like, if life was easy, like, then everyone would be, millionaires or whatever, right? It don't work like that. Like... there's a reason why things are hard. And when they are hard, there's a sense of achievement in there, I don't get this whole thing should be easy narrative. I don't get it. Like, why would you want to do things that are easy in life? That just doesn't... I don't know. I don't strive for things like that. I aim to do things that are hard because there's a sense of achievement there, right? I don't know. Not everyone has to think like that. I'm not saying everyone has to have that mindset, but I think quite a few people probably do, like, the reason I play this game is because I'm competitive in every aspect of my life. I want to win things. Just in my, it's in my DNA. So it's like, if you're here just for, for a stimulus check, then it's just not going to work for you. Like, I just don't know. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. I think many people are unhappy in this game getting harder. Sorare have to work as a business while people want to progress in the game. Yeah, they don't work. I agree with you, Kubasaki. They don't actually work perfectly, but, it works to a degree. But it probably can't work perfectly, and that's got to be fine. There's got to be more losers in this game than winners. That's just the harsh truth, lads. That's just a fact. This game doesn't work if there's more winners than losers. Doesn't. Sorry. Quinny, what's going on, mate? I know you've just texted me, haven't you? Let me have a look, sorry. I'm just replying to your text now, Quinny. Yeah, I just replied to you. Sorry, lads, just catching up on chat. There are only 10 super rares per card. There will be very little amount of people competing, so I think it makes sense for the money to be earned like that. Yeah, I can see that side of things as well. How much does first take? In what, Mike? In what comp? The first game weeks are really important because of the first game weeks of a small amount of people in Division 1, or am I seeing it wrong? It depends on the quality of the cards. Sorry, Donut. Rico Man says, I'm actually excited for the new common game. Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? Arthur, what's going on, mate? They change the roadmap every 2 or 3 months. That explains there are some core issues. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, you know, it's no secret that there's definitely been issues. You know, doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that, you know, Sorare are a unicorn company in the sense, like, nobody's ever done what they're doing. So how can we expect them just to get everything right all the time? Doesn't work like that, lads. I'm sorry to you know, burst the bubble, but they're going off the fly. Like, they're going off instinct a lot of the time. I know they've, you know, they're playing with people's money here as well. Like, I get it. Like, I'm on the players' end of this. I'm not sticking up for Sorare in left, right, and center. But ultimately, the decisions they make, there's no blueprint. Like, there was no other company that was like, oh yeah, they did that, and so we're gonna do that, and that's gonna work. It's like, well, no, because nobody's ever really built a NFT football, fantasy football, whatever company. You know, like, it hasn't really existed. So you've got to give them a bit of slack somewhere, and maybe not too much slack. Maybe they've taken too much. You know, maybe they have taken too much slack, or you know, maybe they've, should I say, like, taken the piss too much sometimes. Maybe, I don't know. In certain areas, for sure, but we can't expect them to get everything right all the time, like in real time. There's definitely things that I don't agree with, like telling us they're going to give us the update at the end of Feb and then it's, you know, the beginning of March or whatever. Like, little things like that piss me off. I can't lie. Like, those are the things that irritate me. Like, just don't give us, like, don't tell us one thing and give us something else. You know, that it just doesn't fly. Like, we as a community end up losing faith. Unfortunately, that's just the brutality of it. You know, if the milkman says he's going to come at, you know, 5 a.m. on a Monday morning and doesn't, and comes Tuesday at 5 a.m., well, unless he has an incredible excuse for me, I'm going to be a bit pissed off at the milkman because he hasn't given me my milk for that Monday morning. Sorare kind of let us down in that way a lot of times, you know, with their communications, I think. And yeah, there's other things as well. This is not a slag off Sorare stream, but you know what I mean. Like, we're not stupid. Sorry, lads. I'm enjoying these little rants. In-season Super Rare specific leagues. Yeah, we can have a little look at that quickly. Do you think it's low in those comps? If everyone won the lottery, then each person would end up with £50 share of the jackpot. Essentially, you need to perform well to get the biggest rewards. Right. Some of that means getting the more expensive cards. Right, TD. I do think they'll adjust the prize pools if necessary. Expensive cards, expensive prizes. It's better for Sorare. Exactly. They're not even allowing to play their own game, right? Because of insider trading rules. Am I wrong? No, they are allowed now. They're allowed to have a budget now. They can play like limited only, I think, Halogen. Brad says, sadly, the threshold becoming too easy and cheap to milk money every week has got users in a mindset it should be easy to win. I agree, Bradford Jack. I do. I agree with that. And that's on Sorare. Like, they give us that platform. I agree. But now it's being taken away or going to be taken away. People have got their pitchforks out. And I get that as well. But ultimately, you can't expect to be, you know, just milking forever. You can't. Kerry said he's quite excited after seeing the news today. Should be fun. Love that. Yeah, sorry, Didi. You wanted to... Not Didi. It was just Mike, it wasn't it? You wanted the prize pools for the Super Rare stuff. For the in-season, I think you said, Mike, wasn't it? So, in-season... So, this is in-season champs. This is in-season champs. Div 1, Div 2, Div 3. Like, it doesn't pay down very far, does it, really? But it all depends on, how many players are going to be in Division 2 Super Rare in-season champ. I don't know. Poor Milkman catching strays. Sorry, Milkman. Sorry if you are a Milkman out there as well. Sorry. Lewis says, who do you think is the best story manager you know? You can interpret it best however you want. The best I know... It's tough. Yeah, it's all relative, isn't it? Like, it depends on the metric, doesn't it? That's the issue. Is like, who's the best trader? Who has the most podiums in relation to their gallery side? Like, you know, there's so many different metrics. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to argue with how good McBride is at the game. I think McBride's a very good player. I've known him for a while, and he is just a good fantasy football guy in that sense, and he has had a lot of success on here. Started very early though. I'm not taking that away from him, but you know, he came on the platform very early and has reaped the rewards and has managed to keep kicking on. So fair play to him. Like, I'm not saying Like, he did get an advantage, but ultimately he's, like, completely capitalized on that. Not everyone in his position got in when he did, you know, is in the same position now. You know what I mean? Obviously, some are. But, like, as far as, like, yeah, fantasy football knowledge, gallery construction, lineup building and stuff, he's up there for me, just off the top of my head. For sure. It's easy to zoom on Twitter. This is only for the transitional period, right? I can only imagine they'll distribute all-star awards. Yeah, for sure. They'll probably boost things up as well. McBride or Nellis? Nellis? In-season Prem looks barred in Div 1. Remember, everyone will be very scattered around since there's a ton of new comps. You have 3 specific leagues in-season. How many people? Yeah, exactly, just Mike it. Exactly, mate. Everything's going to be spread so much thinner than they are now, in theory. Garrett says, are the in-season MLS cards really worth the current premium, you think? Compared to the old season cards, I think they are really, yeah. I think they are, personally. But I'm biased. I've bought some myself, so obviously I'm going to say that. Only 3 rewards against top scores. Yeah. I mean, no, I put myself up there as well as being, especially at under 23. I mean, I can't remember how many. I'm just blowing my own trumpet, but I've won, like, as far as winning divisions, which is very hard to do, I've won 9 times. I think 7 might be Rare Pro, and then 2 under 23 Super Rare maybe. But like if we go to Nellis, how many wins does he have? Like, Nellis has 3 wins. I know he doesn't just play under 23. I'm not comparing me and Nellis, but those are the 2 names that you kind of given me. His gallery valuation is like double mine. But, like, that doesn't say how many podiums you've got, obviously. That just tells you how many, you know, SO5 victories. Again, it all depends on the metric, right? But, like, very hard to win divisions. I'll just say that. Very hard. Like, DD, how many divisions have you won, DD? See, DD has 6 divisions, and I count DD as a very good Sorare player. Gallery's way bigger than mine. Way bigger. Do you know what I'm saying? And when have you been playing? So you've been playing around the same time. No, a year later than me, to be fair. But you know what I mean? Like, it's all relative, isn't it? There's only so many different metrics, really. But, like, because I condensed in under 23, they're not, you know, not obviously, but the chances of me getting more under 23 wins is higher, right? Because all I was playing was under 23. Do you get what I'm saying? So maybe that data's a bit skewed in a way, but you know, you get the point. Mike says, this is just transitional. Gas will still be around and that money will be spread. Yeah, good point. But then the gas money is only now, it's only podium money. Even though, yeah, you're right, that will get transitioned over to champion and challenger or whatever. Like, it will be, you know, from August onwards spread across. But yeah, gas from March to August, like when I say gas all-star, will only have podium money. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, but then you could also argue, could the money from thresholds be put over as well? Because threshold goes in August as well. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So Adonis says, the only thing I don't like about this update is that if a player makes a transfer from champion to challenger, you can't use him anymore. Yeah, I agree with you. That is I agree with you, mate. But it goes the other way as well. Like, yeah. I know. Yeah, I agree with you, sorry, Adonis. I do. I do think that is unfortunate. That's where I'm a bit like, well, that's why I think, you know, playing all 3 is not a terrible idea if you can do so. Because if you do get that situation where someone changes, then you've always got cover. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree with you, sorry, Adonis. That is one of the, frustrating parts, I think, about this, about the update. I definitely agree with you, mate. 100%. 100%. They will use that money for Bundesliga and La Liga. Yeah, okay, good point, Jonathan, I agree with that. I didn't think of that. Yeah, they do need to add that in as well. Just checking out the Brighton lineup. Wow, he's gone with Jason Steele again. What is going on? That is mental. Steele's been absolutely horrendous. That is actually nuts. Did not expect that. They will use that money for Bundesliga and La Liga. Yeah. Classic is much more interesting to me than in season. The thrill of opening rewards and the emotions connected to rewards is big. Completely agree. There's definitely an element of that that's like not there with cash. Completely agree with that. So yeah, I can see why people are happy to play for cards only for 100%. The thing I like about playing for cash is that it's liquid, right? You don't have to sell the card. It's instant and you can go out and do whatever you want with it. Yeah, I agree. There's not any like nostalgia or any like excitement opening cash. I agree. I really do. Barting for the weekend just might get. Yeah, I think it could be that way, Mike. I think I'm gonna risk my my Bart for the weekend. Yeah, home fixture against Forest as well. Alex says it was one of the selling points, Al, but it was more from like him going from contenders to champ, not the other way around. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool are getting smashed, I hope. Probably not, but I do support Sparta Prague. Oh, up the Sparta Prague. Just Mikey said, I agree with that. That first place in Division 1 is amazing. 2,000 plus a star super. Yeah, plus if you're talking about classic modes, and you get the boxes as well. Didi says, I just muted the stream and take a call. Nah, I don't know why I'm still on it, Didi. We haven't spoken about you for the last 5 minutes. But I was just saying that, how do you define good at the game? I said, I count you as a good Sorare player. I didn't know how many victories you had, but it was 6. And I was just like, Didi has 6 victories and has a gallery, that size and whatever. But you play a variety of different competitions and scarcities and whatever, where I was comparing myself and being like, well, I was condensed. I only played under 23 and I have 9 victories. You know what I mean? And I was saying because I've condensed and only played under 23 for a long time, I'm going to have, if you're a decent player, you're going to have more victories on paper because you've condensed your gallery to that type of, competition. Definitely wasn't slagging you off, mate. You're my boy. Kind of says, to be fair, you can use the cash to get better in-season cards. Yeah, agree. Ahmed says, how many in-season cards can you use in Classic? You can use as many as you want, Ahmed, but you shouldn't really be using in-season cards in Classic, I don't think. It doesn't really make too much sense. Classic modes are amazing, Mark says. Yeah, I am buzzing. I can't wait for the new season, truly. Wish he was implemented sooner, but transition is cool too. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people are in that boat, Mike, in the, people just won the transition now, basically. Or, no transition, just go straight in, and I get it. But yeah, lads, I'm gonna leave it there. I am gonna stream with Quinny later tonight at 9, I think. So if you want to pop in for that, be my guest. And yeah, lads, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for being here and sharing the last hour and 20 odd minutes with me. And yeah, hopefully we've learned a bit. Hopefully I've given you some life lessons as well along the way about the milkmen. But yeah, lads, it's been a pleasure. And I'll catch you later on Quinny stream and even tomorrow as well with the deadline stream on Quinny.